Gardening for mental health. Gardening for the soul.
Gardening as a mental health tool.
Dig, plant, breathe.
We're going to go over the mental health benefits of gardening, the features to promote overall health and wellness. We're also going to talk about what makes gardening therapeutic and meaningful.
Gardening for mental health. What are the benefits?
We're going to look at benefits in the emotional domain, the social domain, the vocational domain, the physical domain, and the spiritual domain. Think about it. Working in the garden with the sun on your back, experiencing the sights and smells of the plants and flowers, it gets your endorphins going and brings out positive feelings of vitality, accomplishment, and gratitude. Plants, trees, and flowers provide wonderful benefits to the earth and everyone who lives here. Gardens are satisfying because they build on themselves as the plants and trees get bigger and healthier. You can actually see the transformative results of your hard work over time. Mindfulness is the act of being totally present in the moment. Gardening is a mindful activity that engages all of the senses. When you are planting, watering, weeding, and harvesting, the senses are fully engaged in the sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and tactile sensations of the garden. Gardening gets you out of your own head and helps ground you. We all spend lots of time in our heads thinking, worrying, planning, but gardening gives us time to connect with something tangible and real. Gardening is an analogy for life. The mind is like a garden, and every once in a while, you have to pull out the weeds. People may see a special flower, bird, or butterfly and feel closer to loved ones who are not with them. Harvesting produce or picking flowers from a garden and sharing them with friends and neighbors is a simple act of kindness that brings joy to the giver and the receiver. Gardens create beauty and joy for yourself and others. They provide opportunities to sit quietly and admire the plants, the flowers, the bugs, the bees, nature. Gardening is a great alternative to meditating. Watering, weeding, and hoeing can help the mind to slip into the gap that's similar to what occurs in meditation. Gardening for mental health, the emotional domain. Formal programs in horticultural therapy use plants and plant-related activities to promote health and wellness for an individual or group. Sensory gardens enhance emotional grounding. Gardens facilitate the expression of delight and gratitude. Gardening has benefits that are well documented. Sensory gardens provide heavy work for proprioception and also help with visual planning. Sensory gardens improve tactile and motor skills as well. Expressing delight and gratitude is important to psychological well-being and linked to enhanced positive emotions, resilience, better coping skills, and an improved ability to manage stress. Knowing how to express delight and gratitude actually increases one's happiness. Look at these pictures, enjoy it, and experience the delight. Gardening for mental health, vocational domain. Gardening and horticultural therapy has been used to improve mobility, muscle coordination and strength, balance, endurance, socialization, and memory skills. In the vocational domain, we're thinking of collective skill formation, skills that can transfer to other vocational tasks. Gardening can be part of a healthy and active vocational life. Gardening for a healthy body, physical domain. Gardening is a safe and simple way to enjoy physical and mental activity. Gardening can become part of a healthy and active lifestyle for people with disabilities, with some simple adaptations to the garden, gardener, and plants. In the physical domain, we're talking about the actual physical work it takes to plant and to tend to a garden. Gardening to feed the body, the physical domain. In addition to the physical benefits from the functional components of working in the garden, there are also nutritional benefits that feed your cells. When you garden, you know what you're eating when you have grown it. Save money on the monthly grocery bills, and it feels satisfying to grow and eat your own food. In the Seed to Supper food program, 92% of people reported a reduced food bill. 100% ate vegetables from their garden, and 80% reported an increased consumption of vegetables. Mindfulness, spiritual domain. So these are some of my favorite things about gardening. These are things that I would focus on in the garden while I'm doing a mindfulness activity. So one thing is to notice the bugs and the bug life, and I would think of the circle of life or the minutia of life in the grand scheme of things. That you have these tiny bugs and these tiny seeds and tiny things, and thinking about how all these tiny things make up a bigger world. It just somehow helps me to think about my problems getting smaller. And so I also think about the humor in the garden and the vibrance and the colors. And then I think about how the garden nurtures me and nurtures others. And then I think about the peacefulness that I feel when I look at the flowers or listen to the sounds or experience the sensations in the garden. Gardening for mental health can be therapeutic and meaningful. Gardening is a physical, mental, and spiritual health tool. One can engage in gardening and structure it to their leisure time, their physical activity, or focus on stress reduction, focus on fine motor and gross motor skills, flexibility, balance, eye-hand coordination, and mental health. Gardening is an all-around therapeutic activity. Thank you very much for attending this virtual presentation. Now, go out and garden for your heart, your body, your mind, and your soul. Here are some helpful resources. And my references.
Occupational therapy is good for you.